They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with.
Must reign.
Oh yes. Oh yes. 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 Welcome, guys. Welcome again to another edition, a special broadcast here on the Chaos Rain Show. I am Chaos Rain, and tonight, or should I say today, we're going to talk about basketball. Nothing's to talk about basketball. I have a special guest as I bring up the return of the one and only Dr. Black. Dr. Black, you there? Give me.
Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear.
All
Good
right.
evening.
All right. Yes, yes, yes. And as for people don't know, make sure you hit the subscribe button and follow the Chaos Rain channel. Also, make sure you hit the top notification bell for uploads and live streams here on the Chaos Rain Show. The links to follow me are in the description. You can follow me at Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Ray on Facebook. You can also follow me on Rumble, CRain23 Rumble. And last not least, become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. And also join Discord servers as well. All that's in the description. So now, I just got some latest news. Well, it's not really latest news. If people been watching it, and I'm not sure what the ratings are with the NBA. I mean, I hear a lot of people say it lost some viewership. It sucks. And I did some thinking, and the numbers that show the percentage of the NBA of regards to viewership, I'll probably present to y'all now. Let me read to y'all briefly. Where is it? Let me find it. All right, let me go here. Let me scroll up. That's what women. I don't want this. Okay. Where is the viewership? All right, I think this is the one. This might be the one. All right, it says here from the NBA ratings from 2024 and 2025 season. Now, I did not include the playoffs. I'm only dealing with just the regular season. The playoffs, now that it's all over, maybe next time, maybe in the future, we'll look at that. But right now, we're looking at just the overall viewership of this year's season. And it says that since 2024 for 2025 NBA regular season, the average is 1.53 million views across ABC, ESPN, and TNT, which is a 2% decline from the previous season, 1.56. So okay, so they only declined from that small percentage. The network's breakdown. ABC viewership is increased by 10%, average 2.68 million views. For is slated for 24 games, including NBA Cup games, Christmas Day games, and primetime matchups. ESPN average 1.32 million views, down 7% a year, 1 year. TNT average 1.25 million viewers, 8% decline, and from the previous season. NBA TV viewership dropped significantly by 24%, averaging 250K views. And early season struggles, the season started with a sharp decline with viewership down 19% through the NBA Cup semifinals of December 2024 compared to the prior years, specifically games showing even steeper drops. ESPN open night doubleheader was down 42% from 2023. Bucks versus 76ers, ESPN drew 1.71 million viewers, a 33% decline from a comparable 2023 game. Suns versus Clippers, ESPN fell nearly 50%. And recovery post-Christmas viewership rebounded significantly after Christmas. From December's last year, ABC 5-game slate averaged 5.3 million viewers, and 87% increase from the previous year's 2.85 million market with most watched Christmas lineup since 2019. So that's only last 5 years ago of last year. Lakers versus Warriors games was season top rating regular season game with 7.91 million viewers. Post-trade deadline surge. The mid-season trade for Luka Doncic to Lakers boosted ratings. For example, Doncic's debut game with the Lakers on ESPN drew 2 million viewers, above the season national average of 1.77 million. Okay. February viewership rose 16% over January, driving by trade deadline activities. Now the playoffs, because just now concluded. And now I can't look at the overall because right now this is done now. So we want to know what the finals really drew up. Playoff viewership of 2025 season. Through the conference semis, 22 games, ESPN and NBC averaged 4.88 million viewers, a 12% increase from 2024 playoffs, making the second most watched NBA playoffs since 2011. That's roughly 14 years ago. And highlights: Game 7, the Nuggets versus Thunders, averaged 6.34 million viewers, packed at 7.63 million. Game 6, Celtics versus Knicks, average 5.73 million viewers, up to 14% from comparable 2024 games. So it looks like Knicks drew some views on the Game 6, which is expected. And NBA Finals game, Game 1 of this year, drew 8.9 million viewers and 90% drop from 2024 final opener, making the least watched game since 1988. Yikes. That's 37 years ago. And overall trends decline regular season and then mid-season playoff growth. Only it showed a strong 12% increase viewership, indicating sustained interest and high stakes, etc. Overall, I'm not going further because I can go down the line. It's going to keep going, and it's like data. The point is this, and it says conclusion that it's slightly as 2% decline in TV viewership and early struggles, and the playoffs viewership it rose only 12%. So yeah, it took somewhat of a dip, but not much of a serious dip of cause and concern. I think with Michael Jordan being on the anchor side, he's gonna get paid $40 million for I'm not sure how long. That's gonna probably fix the little small 2%. Now, will it be the patch needs for viewership for NBA? I don't think so. And the reason why, because NBA plays like girls. Anything disagreement to what I read on Paco? Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, the viewership is down because it's two small market teams that don't have global appeal. Like last year's finals was between the Boston Celtics and Dallas Mavericks, excuse me. And even Dallas Mavericks had Luka Doncic, who is an international superstar. So you don't only have the U.S. fan base, you have the European fan base rooting for one of their players who they've been watching for years. And, this NBA's final didn't have that. Boston Celtics last year is, the first or second greatest NBA franchise. They've been around forever. They have the most championships. They have fans that are outside of, New England. And you have Dallas, one of the biggest cities. Big markets, big appeal, big names, Kyrie Irving, stuff like that. That helps viewership. But if you have two small market teams, it can't compete. It's just like if we're in Europe and we're talking about, club play, we're talking about soccer. Every soccer team doesn't bring the same appeal. You have some local club teams, local leagues, and that's not going to compete with the bigger, teams, and that's just life. You have to put the market. So people always say, hey, the NBA or the NFL, these big companies will rig the 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 championships or the league for these bigger market teams because everyone knows every time this happens, it's the same thing. Small markets, less views, less viewers, loss of money a little bit. Sponsors are upset, but we got to be happy. We got to really be happy. Oklahoma City Thunder has won a championship for the first time in their, career. The first
Well,
time,
this is actually the
and it
second
was
championship.
amazing.
This is a second championship because they won it while they were Seattle Supersonics back in '79, I believe. So this is their two
Yeah,
championship.
yeah.
Now the funny thing
Sure,
they
we could
actually
do it
changed
that
it.
way.
They changed teams, and I would grant that this is their first time winning as a franchise in the city of OKC. So
That's
we
what
can
I
say
meant.
it's their first one for OKC, but as a franchise, before changing names, they have 2 titles on their banner right now. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
nobody really counted like that because almost every team was something somewhere else. you
hmm
know.
yeah,
So people just count wherever you currently are. And it's a big deal. Shea Gilgeous Alexander, he got a championship, and those young guys have been knocking on the door, and they pulled it out, and it was really close. They
hmm
took it to 7. I don't think most people did not expect that with how well they did in the regular season. They were whooping everybody left and right. It wasn't very much competition, so
yeah,
nobody thought that Indiana was going to do so well and drag it out and be
hmm
so competitive. And we got to give Indiana Pacers a lot of credit, a
oh yeah,
lot of credit. They came through the East and they really represented. They really showed to be a quality damn team, much better than most people expected. I mean, way better. I don't think I remember hearing a single sports commentator saying, "Yep, I'm picking the Pacers over Oklahoma City," because they were just so. Oklahoma
I
was
picked the
just so
Pacers.
dominant.
I picked the Pacers to win it all because of what happened to Reggie, where he was snubbed a title chance back 20 years ago when the fight with the Palace of Arbor Hills. And at the time when the Pacers were playing and they were winning very well, they were geared to whoever they're going to play and make it all the way to players. They were more likely the favorites to win it all because how LeBron Tess was playing well that season. He was going to be another All-Star. He averaged 24 points in the first month, 2 steals and all that stuff. And they were very geared because they were high hopes that they were going to win it because the only missed piece they had going into from the previous season to this season was they didn't have an actual shooting guard. That's why they went and signed Steven Jackson to
Hmm.
replace Reggie. Reggie still was the still primary shooting guard / he played small forward sometimes, but they gave more of that role to another shooting guard and made Reggie sometimes play either in the bench or starting line, depending on the situation. So it took pressure off Reggie. The people didn't know. But because of that battle, that fought, it kind of eliminated their chance to win a championship, as we could tell from 20 years ago. And that was Reggie's last year. So to find they found themselves in position to be in the finals, which they should have been 20 years ago. They were there now with this group of team. So as you could tell, I can't say it's a revenge, but it looks like it's something that they were snubbed that it was all well worth it that they got to the finals. And I was picking them to win it all because of that. But like I said, the NBA is different, so things happen, and
I mean, it would have been amazing. That would have been an underdog, huge underdog story. That would have been a historic underdog story if the Pacers
Mhm.
could have pulled off that upset because Oklahoma City is far more talented. And I mean, that's just, I don't even know if it's fair to say that anymore because clearly Indiana showed that Oklahoma City wasn't more talented. But in the regular season, they seemed more
Mhm.
talented, and even in the playoffs.
Yes, oh yeah,
So it's very impressive what Indiana did. Very impressive. Everybody in Indiana could be really proud, and basketball fans can be proud. But they didn't have any big name. You need superstars to kind of bring eyes. And then someone made a great definition of a superstar. Do you have a definition of a superstar? An NBA superstar? Do you know?
Woo! My definition of an NBA superstar, this is just me, and there are different forms of superstar. There are ones that are like an all-star to an actual superstar. That one player could change the dynamics of any quarter on a given notice. He can go from cold to hot and change the tempo and dictate the game within seconds. Very few players have that capability. People that had that was Kobe Bryant. I think one time Ben Gordon had that when he was in his prime. When at times he's the fourth quarter assassin, where you need a bucket here and there to really change tempo of I guess the outcome of the game. He had that capability. Michael Jordan was another one, and I can name there's very few I can name after that. I was gonna name LeBron, but LeBron was more he's more overall player, and he's not that one who's gonna turn it on and change up sometimes because sometimes he be passive at times, So, but
So I
what's
was
your
listening to some commentators, and I thought this was the best definition of a superstar that I heard because like my boy Nick Wright, he had 12 NBA superstars. He's like, it's a team, it's mimicking a team. So a team had 12-man rosters. He made club superstar with 12
Mhm.
people. But the more I talk about it, like, you know what, there aren't 12 NBA superstars right now because they had Halliburton was number 12, and according to this definition, Halliburton wouldn't have made the cut. So one NBA commentator said a superstar is must see TV. So simple. A
Mhm.
superstar is must see TV. A superstar is somebody that you get off of work. If you're in that town, you're going to go to the arena. Like, I have to see that guy. Or you get off of work and you're like, yeah, I'm going to sit on the couch and watch this game. Somebody who draws attention. You must see TV. And to me, that's the best definition because there aren't 12 people in the NBA who
Mhm.
are must see TV. And so definitely Jordan was, Magic and Bird were, but even today you have stars who are stars, you have all stars, but they're not superstars. But there are a few superstars left. LeBron, Curry, Giannis, Jokic, and Oklahoma City and Indiana didn't have any superstars. They had some great players. They had the MVP. They had
Yeah.
the scoring champ, but they didn't have any superstars, and that's why the viewership was down so much because nobody on those teams were like, "I have to watch this person play." And then those people don't come around all the time. Sometimes there's a generational change. Who's going to be a superstar like that when LeBron and Curry retire? It could be Luca. Last couple of years, he seemed like
Mhm.
he was getting there
Yeah.
and and it could be him. People love watching him play. He's impressive. So
Mhm.
we'll see. But um, superstar, somebody who everybody has to see. Yeah,
Mhm.
they don't have a lot, and that's
Mhm.
what makes them super. And
Mhm.
must see sellout arenas. That's a superstar, and this championship didn't have it, and that's okay because those guys play hard and they got very far and they congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah. And I was seeing a picture here of three players that I knew that they tore their Achilles, and I was right. Tyler was one of them. Just like Dame Williams, he tore it during the playoffs against the Pacers. Tatum
Yeah,
tore his.
Lillard, Tatum, and
Tatum tore his during the game in New York, which a lot of people said that they could have possibly won. I said I doubt that because New York actually did catch back up and maintain a lead. So there's no way in hell they were
that's
going to come
right.
out.
Go Knicks, my
And
team.
a lot of people, I don't
Yeah,
know why people shitting on Knicks. I say, damn, y'all guys hate it. And I think B just said it best. He said that he was anticipating that the Knicks were going to go all the way to the finals.
they should have. They should have beat the
Yeah,
Pacers.
yeah. But like things happen for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. My thing is this. At the end of the day, that the better team won, and like I said, NBA, like I said, is a 82 game season, 16 games if you include it in the playoffs, and only the strong will actually survive. You get me?
100%.
And not
100%.
not not everybody makes it out unscathed. We hope and pray most people will survive the regular season and survive the playoffs to one day walk with the old line, what they call it, Larry O'Brien trophy. But only not many reach that point, and I give my hats towards the Pacers because they actually had an easy playoff run with the East. You get me? Because the teams they beat,
Oh yeah.
and even with the Knicks, I still had faith that Knicks should have had the chance to still beat the Pacers because they got beaten in 7 games with the Pacers last year. Only has 6 because whatever reason we all know the coach. And now the shift gears before I read this article about the Lakers. Let me talk about a little bit of the Knicks. For those that do not know, we're going to talk about Knicks. The breaking news: Kevin Durant has got traded to the Houston Rockets. For those that don't know, and let me
Big
see.
news. Big news.
Let me see.
Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets from
Let me see if I can
Phoenix
find.
Suns to the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, let me find that right. Let me right back. All right, so this right here won't show it. So let me see. Rockets of all time sources. Okay, so
KD, Slim Reaper,
yeah,
Durantula.
yeah. All right, so
Uh,
like I'm just gonna show it. I'm not gonna read the article, but for people who don't know, this was the news that broke out today. I think it happened today. Yeah, it happened today. So before the last game of the finals, this came out, And as y'all can see right here, and let me check it's not okay. It's not switched over. So let's look at this. And guys, make sure you hit the like button and share the stream. All right. So this what wrong one. Share screen. All right. As you can tell, Kevin Durant was traded. And what was got in return? Phoenix Suns agreed to the blockbuster trade, sending 15-time All-Star Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, and number 10 pick in this year's draft, and 5 second-round picks. So right now, Phoenix got 1 top first-round draft pick, while they get the rest. They get the second draft picks, which really, I think the Phoenix Suns really wanted 2 first-round picks and may 1 or 2 second rounds, because right now their focus now is, unfortunately, they're rebuilding, and they need picks because the way how they set up this team was not good. For those,
Well, I don't know if they've decided to officially rebuild yet because they still got Book, they still got the other young guy, Bill, but they don't have a lot. They don't have a lot.
Booker, yeah.
They do not have a lot. And they should probably just officially embrace the rebuild and just lose all the games they can, and hopefully I think this is Bradley Beal's last year or 1 more year, so they can get rid of Bradley Beal soon too.
Well, the problem with Bradley Beal, because that was the whole end game they were trying to move his contract first, because he is, I think, out of all players, he's making the most money on that squad. I could be wrong, Paco, but I think he's the one. I think he's the one that's making the most, because he signed a 200 and I think it was like a 50 million. Let me check how much his contract was. Let me double check. I don't want to be guessing. Last thing I want to do is guess. One second, guys. Let me type this up. How much? And you can talk while I find this.
Yeah, so Bradley Beal was really a headache because he has a no trade clause. Only 2 players in the NBA with no trade clause: LeBron James and Bradley Beal. So they can't really even trade Bradley Beal without saying he wants to go there, because that's the whole point of a no trade clause. He won't be traded, and it's really tough for Phoenix. They shouldn't have to deal with that. I don't know what they were thinking when they got all this trouble. I mean, they had what's his name? They had Katie and this other guy for a whole year.
I see the contract. I see the contract he signed back in 2022. He signed a 5-year, $250 million contract for 5 years. So let's break down the numbers. The contract start in 2022 going 2020 season. He was going to make $43 million a year that year. The next year, $46.7 million the next year, which I think was traded to the Suns back in 2024. And then the following year, he's going to make now $50 million. Next year, he's going to make $53 million. And the last year, he's going to make $57.1 million. And let me tell y'all something.
$57 million.
He will not be taking no player option the way our teams that try to move him, that he's not gonna say, hey, can you just don't take the last year and just go, and no, he's gonna take his full money because this is his only last contract.
Oh yeah, he's out of the league after this. Maybe he could be off a bench, but he's gonna be like Westbrook if anything. But I don't even think that, because he's so unproductive. Bradley Beal has fell off so hard in the year and a half he's been in Phoenix. He has been so unproductive. I can't think of a single team that would be like, yeah, give him a try, because he's unhealthy. He get injured all the time. He don't play no D. He don't score no more. I mean, he has been
I did not know that.
Nightmare. Yeah, he fell off really bad. It's not close. He's not anywhere close to what he was back when he was, letting people know who he was. When he got traded, it was a big deal. But now he has been playing terrible. They're gonna end up buying him out the way he's playing. They're gonna end up buying him out. Just send him home and be like, listen, we gotta figure out a number where you accept, 80% of your deal, but we can't keep paying you because you don't do anything for this team.
Well, the only way that's gonna happen, Paco, is right now. Let me check his contract again. Just double check the numbers.
Remember, that's what they did to Westbrook.
Yeah.
Westbrook got bought out. A lot of players, when they fall off, they don't want to admit it. The team sends them home. They get a buyout. Westbrook got a buyout.
Well,
not too long ago.
My looking right now
from Houston.
next year he's gonna make $53 million next year. The only way
$53 million.
the only way that he's going to accept buyout is the last year's contract. And I think
Well,
with
isn't-
the
Yeah, you're right.
the way how they're gonna play, they're gonna play next year. But after how next year goes, because they know they're gonna play bad, because they're gonna start still. I heard rumor they're gonna move more people, which I'm gonna talk about before you walk out of here. That right now with his contract, they're going how they're gonna play it is they're gonna say we're going to just want to eat it, because you're not gonna ask to we trade to another team. Because by the time it gets to that point, we're not gonna get no value from you because your contract's too big. You get me? It's already too big already. And anybody takes it, they know that it's just an expiring contract just to get off the books, and then you move off your business. And right now, no one's gonna do it. The best bet they could try to do it is 1 more year of his contract. And I doubt anybody's gonna take this paying him $57 million. I don't care which team look at that. They'll look at it and say, all right, you already fell off. You have no trade clause, which makes it very difficult to move you now, because now any team that's doing poorly, they will take your contract. But the problem is you don't want to play there, because you want to play in a so-called how to say it, Paco? A contender team?
Yeah, you want to go to a contender so you could daggone win a championship or at least be in the playoffs. Yeah, for sure.
But the problem is you're not worthy of a contender team, because you're gonna run their cap space.
Yep, that's a lot of money. $50 million a year is a hell of a lot of money. And now they have the first apron and the second apron, which are just taxes where they tax you. Nobody wants to pay them damn taxes especially for a player who ain't that good. Who's going to be paying an extra tax to add Bradley Beal to their team when he doesn't play anymore? He used to be good, but who wants to add Bradley Beal and he's gonna come off the bench and play? I think he missed 25 games last year. Who's gonna want to pay 50 million? Yeah, he was injured. Who's gonna pay $50 million for somebody who only plays 45, 50 games? It's 82 game season. So yeah, if you miss games, then when you play, you got to be great. Like KD, he missed games, but when he plays, he's great. He's still averaging 26 a game. Bradley Beal ain't nowhere close to that.
No, he's not close.
Nowhere close to that. So it's tough out there.
And I didn't even check how much. I didn't check how much he averaged last season. I doubt he even averaged 20 points. I could be wrong.
No, he didn't average 20. You're right about that.
Yeah. He's taking.
I think it was like 12 or 16 or something like that.
From getting paid $500 million. Unacceptable.
Yeah, for $40 million, he ain't scoring nothing.
Very unacceptable. Yeah, I think the Washington Wizards, they did that because he was granted that money, and they gave it to him, and they're the ones that were very lucky to dodge a bullet. And a lot of people said that he was never going to be traded, but lo and behold, they said, you know what, we're in the rebuilding process, and we can have you in the books, bro.
But yeah, I mean, it's complicated like that because NBA has guaranteed contracts. So whenever you sign, you're going to get it no matter where you go. Mm-hmm. So the Washington Wizards gave him the contract, but they traded him. Now that's Phoenix's problem. Phoenix is trying to win now, and they were like, he's going to be the final piece. But the problem is they can't play no defense in Phoenix. It was embarrassing. I haven't seen a team play that bad defense in a long time. They couldn't play no defense. They was terrible out there. Even though KD could score and Booker could score, man, their defense was atrocious. And so they might score 120, but they're giving up 130. Not going to work. It's simple math.
All right.
So they was out there looking pretty bad.
Here's where KD stands right now. When the move to Houston Rockets. Points, we know he has 30K points all time. Okay. Player points, he's 7th. With 4,000 something. Field goal made, he's 12th, 10,000 something. 3-point field goals, 2,119. That's 14th. Okay. So right now, his overall points right now is he's 8th. LeBron is the top now because he has almost like over 40 points. You know what I'm saying? 40,000 points.
40,000 points.
So no one's catching that. I don't care, because for KD to get that, he needs to average the same but survive 6-7 seasons.
Yeah, he needs more than that.
He need more than that?
He would have to average like 29 for 6 seasons.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you had to average 20, 30 points. Yeah, you're right. You had to average that just to catch him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not gonna do that. I mean, right now at his age, he's lucky he's still even average over close to 20, 27.
Yeah, he's very good. That's why Houston traded for him. Because even though he misses games, he still gets buckets and efficiently. He's over 50% from the field. That means every
But
other shot he
that's
takes,
a
he
slight
makes.
increase. That is an increase over previous years because he never shot 50%. He's doing now at his age, just like LeBron. When he started hitting 30, he started increasing his percentage and the field goal percentage. And KD, I think now is at the point now where he's averaging 50% from the field for a man that could shoot.
KD is better than LeBron in that way. KD is a shooter. So he's always been a high percentage from when he's shooting it. They both are 50% from the field, but LeBron gets way more legs. But KD, he got that cold jump shot. He's been shooting 50% for a long time. He's just
Mhm.
he some people say he's the best scorer or one of the best scorers. I mean, if you think about it, he shoots like a guard, but he's the height of a center. So you could
Mhm.
argue KD's the best scorer in NBA history because he's
Yeah.
so tall and he still shoots
At a
as
high
pure
level.
as a shorter player.
Yeah.
So he is an asset. Houston should have high expectations for having him. They could go far if they could gel. If they could gel, they can go very far. They definitely can. They have
Mhm.
the pieces. They could go far. But Katie's not a leader. That's
Mhm.
the problem. Well, now you need someone who's going to help gel, who's going to work with the team, who's going to do the little things, get to know people, know their spots,
Mhm.
talk to them. But Katie doesn't like to do this. From what we could tell, he doesn't like to be a coach
Mhm.
or be a mentor. He just wants to hoop. Well, when you come to the team trying to win a championship, you got to mentor people. Mentorship is normal. We all got to do it in our job.
Of
We all
course.
got to do it on a 9 to 5. That's part of life. Mentor, mentor, mentor. So Katie doesn't like to be a mentor. So it's
Mhm.
like, Katie, this is not nothing weird. Nobody's out here do something unusual. If you're trying to go further than you ever have before, you got to do things you never did before. So we'll see if Katie can start being a better mentor, a better team player. Not that he's bad, but he's the veteran. He's a superstar. He's the one that has to have a voice. And that
Mhm.
has been an issue in the past. And they've been talking about it for a long time.
Mhm.
Katie is not a good mentor. So we'll see if he can do it.
Well,
Would love to see it.
he has no choice because he's now playing for a team that's not going to be contending anytime soon. I don't care how good the Houston Rockets. Okay. Final truth. Is that you, Mark? Let me know that's you, Mark. Say something in the chat room. I just want to know it's you. Make sure. You got a different avatar. Yeah. So, like I said, Paco.
Houston could be a championship coming up 2025-26 because they were the number 2 seed and KD is going to make them better. They should be a contender. They consider themselves a contender. They should be able to beat everybody else in the West. They should be. Not that they will, but they have a roster. They have a great center. They have great young players. They only lost one young player. They had like 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They still have 5 great young players. So they are in a great position to be. Now the West is full of talent. The West is stacked. It's going to be hard to beat Western teams, but the Houston Rockets have a great team and
Mm-hmm.
a really great coach. They're
Mm-hmm.
contenders for sure.
Okay. Good. Good.
Absolutely.
Good. Good. All right. So let me. All right, Mark. I'm gonna drop the link in a second. Let me just go through this one quick article, and then we're gonna continue the conversation. Let me see. All right, I found it. So let me do this, and to make sure there's no nah, screw. I could probably share it. Let me double check. Make sure nothing's on my. All right, I clear out everything. So let me share this, and I don't know why I'm getting these notifications. Share screen, and this one's very important. Spot the. Wait, where's my thing? All right, hold on. All right. It's about the Lakers. The Buss family sells Lakers majority stake to TWG Global Mark Walters for $10 billion reports. And mind you guys, if you could see this on your phone and stuff, I'll read it to you. It's gonna be hard to see. It is what it is. I can't fix that. All right. The deal between the Buss family and LA Dodgers owner marked the most expensive sale of the professional sports franchise in history, surpassing the 6.1 billion agreement for the Boston Celtics early this year. I know Boston Celtics sold a team.
Yeah, yeah, and they sold to a group of a group, a corporation group, not one individual person like the Lakers did.
Okay. All right. It's the dawn of a new era in Tinseltown. After more than 4 decades of ownership, the Buss family is reportedly selling its majority stakes in the Los Angeles Lakers to billionaire Mark Walters in a record-breaking 10 billion, according to NBA senior inside Sean Kamara. I think that's the Indian dude. He always been update. Breaking: the Buss family is entering an agreement to sell majority ownership of the LA Lakers by Mark Walter, a CEO of chairman of Diversified Holdings Company TWG Global Source, telling ESPN Jeannie Buss will continue to serve in her role as governor after the sale. Well, she's not going to play much role at all because she's going to be sent back, which she should have 15 years ago. But that's not a question. Walter, the CEO and chairman TWG Global, already own 26% of the Lakers and expect to take full control of the franchise pending league approval, which the league's going to approve that. Let's be honest. The Buss family will retain the minority stakes of around 15%, while Jeannie Buss will remain as team governor and continue to oversee day-to-day operations for the foreseeable future. I think she's going to take the same role like Mark Cuban. I think Mark Cuban took like the same role in his team. I could be wrong, but
No, you're right, but he
yeah.
didn't last. He quit after a few months. He didn't even make it a whole season.
Oh, Mark Cuban.
Yeah, he's still a minority owner of Dallas, but he doesn't run NBA operations like he said he would.
Oh wow. Okay, that's my reason for that. Anyhow, marking the most expensive franchise sale in U.S. sports history, the deal also signals the end of a 46-year era of Buss family ownership that helped shape not only the Lakers but professional basketball itself. The largest sale of a professional sports franchise in the world. Dr. Jerry Buss purchased the Lakers in January, of 1979 for 675 million. At the time was a lot of money. People don't understand. If I do the numbers, it'll tell you how much it's worth back then to now. A deal that also includes the NHL Los Angeles Kings and the Forum in Inglewood. And matter of fact, let me do this. Any thoughts, Paco? Because I'm gonna do something.
Yeah, well, I'm super happy for the Lakers because the Buss family has been running for 40 years. Dr. Buss, RIP, passed it on to his son and daughter, who Jeannie and the brother were fighting over it. And about 2 years ago, Jeannie finally pushed her brother out, and she took over complete control of the Lakers. But they run like a family business. Jeannie had her friends being, in leadership positions, and the best teams in the NBA are family business. The NBA is too complicated. You need coaches, not just the head coach at the game, but you need coaches to do shooting coaches and strengthening coaches and all this stuff. And if you're like a family business, the Lakers, one of their problems wasn't that they didn't pay their players, but their problem was they didn't spend extra money for other things like the right coaches. The auxiliary coaches are super important, or they didn't spend money on,
Oh
trainers,
wow!
or
Oh
lots
wow!
of things that are a big deal, that are the little things for a team
Mhm.
that if you're a mom and pop's organization, you don't want to spend extra money on that. But organizations like the Boston Celtics shot more threes than anybody. They won a championship like that. They didn't just come up with that out of thin air one day. They did the math. They had analytics coaches. They had scientists. They had people working out the concept, and if they could execute it and the right players so that could give them a chance to win with that, the Lakers gonna have that. Those things matter, and something like the NBA where human beings have kind of maxed out what humans can do on a court. You now have to play 4D chess. You got to do extra things. You got to be smarter in order to compete. And the Lakers weren't like that. So now they have a wealthy owner who's not going to be cheap on the things that they need. They probably will play better as a team. They're not going to have like, the secondary coach. Like they had Darvin Ham as a coach, and they had Frank Vogel as a coach, and they had these other people who didn't deserve to be coaches, but they were cheaper than the best coach. The Lakers lowballed Ty Lue. The Lakers could have been further ahead if they had Coach Ty Lue, but they wouldn't pay him. And these things happen. Now they have a better ownership. They should be able to make better decisions, and hopefully.
No, they do all that stuff. They
Oh,
buy.
wait. Oh, before you continue, before you say something, I just want to make sure it's you, Elijah. You there?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, all right. Hold on. I'm gonna let you speak for a second. I know. You were saying watching the game. I didn't watch the game. I was just going through the internet, find out about it. But sit back and just relax. Just a minute. I just want to say something. Where am I? Okay. You finished, Paco? What you about to say?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. My thing is this. And I just did the numbers, and here's this, guys. Now I'm gonna let somebody else talk. The price that Mr. Bus paid for the Lakers back in the 70s, and I think that's the same year that Magic Johnson was signed to Lakers in 79.
Yeah.
Okay, that's time when his father took ownership. So he was the first major star that Mr. Bus signed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. From what it says here, 76.
Well, it might have been Kareem.
Either or, it doesn't really matter. 67.5 million in 1979 is worth in 2025 dollars. We need to adjust by inflation concerning U.S. Consumer Price Index (CPI) is worth 285 to 300 million in 2025. But here's the twist. At the time, that's how much he bought the team at the time, and the net worth.
How much did he buy it for?
He pays 67.5 million for it. The actual price for the team, from what it says, 67 million.
67 million. Okay.
Well, if it was looking at today's prices, it'd be 300 million if he bought it today. But with this, from what I'm finding, and I know Mr. Walter bought it, he paid a lot for this team because the average right now net worth of this team is $6 billion, and she got a killing. She got additional 10 billion. Right. So she got more than the team was worth. So I'm hoping the man that part owner of wherever he's owning from the baseball and stuff, I think he did that because I think in his mind it's gonna be a very wealth investment. In my opinion, because you paid more for this team than it should be. So
well, the bus sold because they wanted to cash out.
No, she sold because she wanted to cash out.
Right. Same thing.
Because she did. Let me tell you something. When her father died 15 years ago, which I didn't know, her father died when the Lakers won their last championship before going on to the new decade.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Since then, his daughter took over. The team was never productive, never the same since. And they were lucky to win that in the bubble because a certain said team, and I talked to Paco, and I'm telling you this, Elijah, because the Clippers did not want to play the way they admit, they said they didn't want to think it was important because it's not really a championship win because it's the lockdown of the NBA. And I'm looking at these fools, you dumb as hell. You take any championship you get because once you get there, there's no guarantee you're going to get back there again.
Right.
And they fumbled it. And the Lakers took full advantage of it. That's why they were able to win that championship. That was the only win that Jane Buss got owner as Lakers. Ever since they didn't get nowhere close to that. Because the rumor is she's more focused on ticket sales, all that stuff. Nothing about really making this team really competitive.
Well, like I always tell you, this isn't basketball anymore. It's not basketball. This isn't real basketball. This is business, entertainment, then basketball. Mm-hmm. Basketball. It hadn't been basketball since Michael Jordan made these basketball teams billion-dollar corporations with Bird, Magic, and Jordan. It became billions of dollars. You take a perfect example. You look at the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1933. Art Rooney Sr. bought the Pittsburgh Steelers for $3,300. You and I can go in our pocket and pay that. That's sitting in our bank account. Mm-hmm. And it has exploded into this because of the destruction and decadence of the society. all the money. People want to live vicariously through the athletes.
Mm-hmm.
When you brought the black athlete in, they finally brought the black athlete into college and professional sports
Mm-hmm.
and made it a billion. It made it what it is.
Yeah.
But the black athlete gets no credit. Um, Look at across the board. NIL, the NIL deals. Back in the 70s, a semester of college would cost you $500.
Mm-hmm.
Now a semester of college is what? $10,000. Why? Because of the black athlete. Why is this billions of dollars? Because of the black athlete. But the society says, oh, black men are no good. Black men are deadbeats. Black men are drug addicts. Black men are criminals.
Mm-hmm.
But they've used us to make zillions upon zillions of dollars. NBA and NFL, this isn't sports anymore. It hadn't been sports since, when was Jordan? Jordan was since about 98, 97. It hadn't been. It's no longer sports. This is corporations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in 1967, first Super Bowl, they were outside begging people to come in Los Angeles. Man, please come in. We got all these empty seats. We'll give you free tickets. 1976 Super Bowl, Miami, Florida, Steelers, Cowboys.
Yeah.
$50 to $75 for a ticket. 2000, whenever the Patriots were undefeated, going for an undefeated season, that was 2013, 2014, around then.
Yeah.
Cheapest Super Bowl ticket, $10,000
Oh wow.
for the worst nosebleed, and they could not. Nobody could find the ticket. $30,000 on the field. This is not sports. Who owns more proof? Who owns ESPN? Let me tell you, Disney Corporation.
Okay.
Is Disney into athletes? Is Disney involved in performance enhancement? Is Disney into coaching? Hell no. Disney's into Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Minnie Mouse. Entertainment, 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 and more entertainment. Corporate sponsorship. You look at ever heard of the Dallas Cowboys? Terrible as hell on the field, but billion-dollar enterprise. How did the Lakers do? The guy just paid $10 billion for the Lakers. How did they do this year? They were trash.
Yeah. Oh, they were terrible. I mean, they made the playoffs, but as far as to go, and they got knocked off the first round by the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
This ain't sports no more. This is business. 1, entertainment. 2, then maybe sports is 3rd. It's a damn TV show and a movie. It's not sports. The Thunder, perfect example. Thunder won it, but how'd they do the last game? They set the last game out, played horrible, didn't show up.
Yeah.
Laid down. We'll get them at home. Yeah, you got them at home. But athletes want to be the best. Real athletes want to be the best every time, all the time.
Yeah.
And that's gone. And that's why the NBA is the viewership is down. It's half. Stars like Magic is saying the NBA sucks. Bird says the modern NBA sucks.
Question, Elijah. I did read about the percentage of how much it went down. It was not much, but besides that, you saw the last game, Game 7.
Yeah, I was there.
You mean like they're in OKC right there?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Oh, even better. Okay. What is your reaction? Because they said the first quarter, Tylen looks like he tore his Achilles.
yes.
So let me
Let's see.
ask a question. What's going on this year alone? I think it's the first time in NBA history in the playoffs I find more than multiple players tore their Achilles during the game. I don't think it ever happened before in the NBA in history.
You want to know why?
Why?
You remember the jab?
Okay.
It weakens your body.
Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna deny it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And let's see. He pulled his calf 2 games ago.
Yeah, I know that. I heard that.
Right.
And
Right.
he didn't, I think he did try to play last game, and then
But I've had that same injury at least 6 to 10 times
Mm-hmm.
in training, in playing basketball, and it was because at the time I was taking creatine, and so my calves kept popping. So I've had that injury at least 6 to 10 times. I'm an expert at that injury. With that injury, it's just like a hamstring. You have to sit out 30 days. Must,
Wow.
necessary, obligated, mandatory. Hey, take your ass home and call me in 30 days. We'll check on you in 30 days. Go home
You
and don't do
serious?
nothing. Hell yeah. But now he's going to be out a year because he didn't do what I said. He didn't set his ass down. You you can't move properly with that injury. And it's very tricky.
And happened today in game 6, was it? Or was game 5?
Five.
It happened
Five.
game 5. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You can't do nothing but sit down. I'd have shut him down. No, calf, nope. Hamstring, nope. Nope, can't do nothing. Growing, can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. The 30 days. Holler at me in a month. That's it.
Okay. Any thoughts, Paco, from what you heard? Okay, Paco's muted. I'll wait till you get.
No. He was right. You can't do nothing. He was right.
Okay.
And we have a case history with that bum Paco likes. We have a case history that proves my point with that bum KD. KD's a bum, Paco.
No, don't
Yeah,
do KD like that.
he did
He's
his
not.
self like that.
He's a bad leader. He's
Listen,
a
brother.
bad leader.
Listen, brother.
Mhm.
What team did he play for first?
The Sonics. OKC.
Okay. I consulted him at OKC. I begged him on 5 different occasions in his face, let me put 30 pounds of muscle on you because correct me if I'm wrong. I don't care if you're 5 years old,
Okay.
but you can't win in a man's league with your junior high body.
Facts.
The boy is sticks and stones. He's built like a freaking broom.
I mean,
It's true. It's
I
true.
begged him on 5 different occasions. Let me put 30 pounds of muscle on you. I'm the top trainer in the world. And he gave me one of the times he gave me a fake phone number like a bitch at a club at the OSU Texas game. And so I saw his brother at Gold's Gym, and I told him, y'all some bougie Negroes. Y'all think y'all don't need me, but y'all lost in San Antonio by 30 points last night. They're gonna put you out tomorrow night. Go around the corner. There's a Walmart, and go get KD some pink panties because he's gonna always be LeBron's bitch. And he was texting on his phone and called 7 or 8 dudes to come jump on me. But all I did was tell him the truth, and it's his career has proven that He doesn't. He has two fake ass rings that he got in Golden State,
Damn.
riding riding.
The coattails of Jalen Stephen Curry
No,
and
riding the balls of the Warriors dynasty. And Draymond, he got pissed and triggered because Draymond told him, "Man, we didn't need you. They won 70 something games without him."
Yeah, yeah.
And so he went and rode and jumped on their jock strap and stole two rings that he didn't deserve. And he thought that, oh, I'm one of the greatest players ever.
You're
and,
right.
And he's
You're
not.
right.
And so, oh, I can go to Brooklyn. I can go anywhere and lead that team. And
Matter of fact, him and Kyrie was supposed to sign to Knicks. What's your views on that? That he made the comments he made about the Knicks that they're corny and stuff. That now the Knicks could have got him during the trade deadline, but they kind of did not pull the trigger because
what recently?
Yeah, this is during the season. They said that
they know real people that know real basketball know he's trash. All he does, he's just a stat patter.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. He averaged 26 this year. Yeah, because you're 6'11" with a 7'4" wingspan. Who the hell's gonna block that jump shot? Nobody's gonna block that shot.
6'10" actually, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll write down. You don't even have to show up. I'll tell him, man, you don't have to show up. I'll put down 28 points. I'll give you 28 points.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trash because he's always looking for a team to babysit him. He went to Phoenix to get babysat.
Okay.
Everywhere he's been babysat. Grown men don't want to be babysat. So
Okay.
yeah, nobody's gonna block your jump shot, but he's not gonna. He makes pussy bitch points.
Damn, bro.
And I'm NFL and NBA scout.
Yeah.
And the worst thing you can be as a prospect is what we call a one-trick pony. If you looked up one-trick pony in the dictionary, his ugly face would be right there. All he does is shoot jump shots and get meaningless baskets. Great players, check the history. Great players do two or three great things. Two or three things well. They get points, assists, and rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
They get two of those three categories. Not just a 7'4" wingspan shooting jumpers, and you can't block no shots. You can't get no rebounds because you're the weakest guy in the NBA history. So Houston took the bait and babysat him. And no, brother, they ain't nobody with KD has ever been a contender. Nobody.
You know, you might have a point there because when I think about it, even that game in 2021, when they were one shot away of, if they'd have beaten the Bucks, they possibly might have won a ring for Brooklyn. But because
Hell
KD,
no.
You don't think so? Because if he
No.
made that, you don't think they would go all the way to win the championship against the Phoenix Suns?
If he was able to go all the way, he'd have done it in this damn 20-year career. He's had 20 chances to do that shit and never done it.
It's not 20 years because he got drafted in 2000.
I'm sorry, 15.
Okay, 15 makes sense.
I'm exaggerating, of course, but
okay.
Yeah, he's a one-trick pony, and he's a stat patter, and he gets people excited because of his point average, but that's all he brings, and that's nothing. Hell, look it up. There's a guy in the 70s named Pete Maravich. Hell, he averaged 40 points a game, but never ever hardly made it past the first round on the one or two times he went to the playoffs. Scoring, I coined the phrase. Scoring is not winning. Scoring is not winning.
You know, you're right. Ever since he left OKC, he was never the same after going to another team that was already a contender. And ever since he left the contender, KD has at best has not left the first round of playoffs. I could be wrong. I got to double check, but I think
Exactly.
and that's 6 years. So it tells you right there. And at a time when he left that team, back in 2019, I think maybe, if I remember closely, or the year after that, from what I recall, right, he was just turned 30 at the time, and now he's
Right.
37. He might be turned 37, and for the last 7 years, 6 or 7 years, whoever keeping track, you as a player
He
have
ain't
not
he ain't never done nothing.
you have not gotten no team that you were under
Nothing.
close to the finals.
He ain't never done nothing. Can't do nothing. What you gonna how you gonna win anything and you built like a broom?
Well, he should be able to do something this time around. I
No, he
mean, not
shouldn't.
as a.
Let
I'm
me
just
ask
talking
you
about the
something.
team. The overall team looks good. The
That
team
team
looks
don't look like
good. So
nothing. Let me tell you something. Let me ask you a question. When you buy tires and drive on them, does the tread get thicker as you drive on them?
no, I just thin it.
Okay, he's been in the league 17 years. So he thinner means weaker. He hadn't he hadn't done nothing the brother just said he ain't done nothing to contribute to a winning franchise and a winning team. It's
I'm
not
not saying
it's not
he's gonna
possible.
be the leader overall. Like I think that because the other young guys are gonna be there, he's gonna miss at least 20 games. That's what he's been doing the last 3 years. But I'm saying like if he could be healthy for April and he could score the way he's been scoring,
No,
that's
sir.
gonna be a big
No,
deal.
sir. No, it's not. In your perfect example, let me give you the law of sports.
Okay.
Your playoffs are gonna go the exact same way that your regular season goes. You cannot coast, chill, and set out uh, the regular season and then come and expect to make a big splash and explode in the playoffs. Life in sports does not work like that at all.
You make a great point. Oklahoma City had the best record. They just won the championship.
Exactly. They had 18 more wins than Indiana.
Yeah, we know that.
The
Yeah.
basketball gods and the football gods ain't gonna allow uh, some Johnny come lately to come in and win the championship. Now you can struggle a little bit, but you can't sit on your ass and sit around and lay around and wait and minute what they call it minute restrict and
Minute restriction, yeah.
no. The basketball gods in the game is not going to reward a team like that. It rewards teams that overcome
Yeah.
the
Okay.
toughness and duration of the season.
Okay. Because to let people know, Elijah, or Mark,
Yeah.
wherever you call him, he is a basketball scout for those who's listening, and not just basketball, actually athlete scout for basketball and NFL. Let people know. One person I want to ask you, Mark, because me and Pac are Knicks fans.
Hmm.
The moves the Knicks made, are they even close to being competitive following the next season? Now that the East Conference is going to be wide open more now since this injury, what
No,
are the chances are
no,
for them to really?
nothing, zero.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Forget
I want you
about
to
it,
explain.
huh?
Can you explain why?
Because they just like KD is a pussy bitch. They got a pussy bitch on their team, Carl Anthony Towns.
God damn it! Oh my god! Oh,
Brother, you 7 foot, 300 damn pounds.
no, he's 240, not 300. He's not 300 pounds.
Okay,
Nah, he more than 240,
no,
bro.
he
He's
more than
7 feet tall. He's 300 pounds.
Let's say
you
he's 240.
seven. You
You sure he's
7'1".
300 pounds?
He damn near think he could be like
He's at least
290, but
280.
he
All right. Go on, Elijah. We're not gonna worry
Your
about that.
ass is 7'1",
7
280.
foot. 7 foot.
Get your ignorant, retarded ass in that paint. Get in my paint and body shop and do some damn damage. I
Yeah.
got I got 100 guards on my bench. I don't need you coming down, jacking up threes, doing your best Steph Curry imitation, fool.
Mm.
I will kick your ass out of practice.
But you know that's where most of the league has been going. It's a stretch 3 point.
That's why Larry Bird said it sucks. That's why Michael Jordan said it sucks. That's why Magic Johnson is on YouTube saying it sucks. That's why viewership is down because it's not basketball. That was the first thing I said. It ain't basketball no more. It's the NJA, the National Jackball Association. Come down and jack up a damn shot. Just jack it up.
So
And then the rest of the fools will chase the damn ball.
So you're a proponent that they should make a push. If the Knicks had the option, which is very rare, to get Giannis Antetokounmpo instead of and get rid of Karl Towns because he's a big man. They should get another center that's another big that's more effective. That will.
There are no more centers.
Okay.
The game's been ruined. The NBA wants everybody to play like Bob Cousy.
Oh, I'm not familiar with Bob Cousy. I ain't gonna look him up.
Quick Google search.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the first thing I said is it's not sports anymore. It's not basketball anymore. It is business. They got enough money so they can be arrogant as hell and tell everybody to go fuck themselves.
I'm trying to limit the language.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It's business and entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not real basketball anymore. The Thunder won because they got the best two jack-up men in the sport. They got the best two guards.
Oh, you mean Gilchrist and Jay Williams?
Yeah. Those two guys. Shea is he's another Michael Jordan.
Okay.
And Williams is another Scottie Pippen. That's what you.
Yeah. That's what I'm hearing the comparison. That's what I'm hearing about the comparison. Yeah.
And the guys that come off the bench, are the Warriors dynasty.
Okay.
Cook it some more.
All right, before you continue, I see more people watching the stream. I want people to support the channel, so y'all guys know what to do.
My money.
Hey, Chaos.
Wait, hold on.
Where is my money?
Betty, bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
All right, guys, support the channel, please. You know what to do. Super chat, Cash App, and please like the stream. You about to say something, Paco?
Yeah. I understand that the guest is not a big fan of KD or new modern basketball. I know I get a lot of people say that it's too many 3-pointers. I agree. We could switch it up a little bit. I mean, thank goodness for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who's shooting mid-range and not just jacking up threes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that I'm not in the camp of people who are like, oh, there's too much this, too much that. I'm trying to just appreciate the game. I think we could all be super proud of Oklahoma City for pulling it off. You know, they were so young and they got it done. And I hope that like we support your channel. I hope that more people get in the NBA. But you know what's really causing a lot of buzz? That's even taken away a little bit from the NBA. The WNBA. That damn Caitlin Clark has been causing a lot of trouble out there, getting a lot of eyeballs, getting a lot of conversation going on. So, the NBA does need to do a little better because the competition is right there on their tail. The WNBA.
That ain't no competition.
As far as viewership, not the favorite. There's millions of people watching WNBA, bro. Millions. They really like to see Caitlin Clark go over there.
Millions is not a global audience.
I agree, but that's not what we're trying to global.
The NBA has to go overseas because of the discrepancy between NBA and the females. If ain't no females, ain't no countries wanting to see no WNBA.
Okay.
And Caitlin ain't. She's not dunking on folks. Ain't nobody. No. All that is marketing, slick marketing. Oh yeah, come see this, come see that.
You
But
might
it's
not be a fan.
But that's how it's gonna work. You have to start See, one thing we gotta understand, gentlemen, because I'm not really into the women basketball, but let's say the issue with the WNBA is always how you gonna sell this to everybody else in America, because most of the people that's watching is still men watching WNBA, and not a lot of women. Women only support maybe the college level, but after that, they're not shown for the majors like the WNBA for reason B. I don't know why. But with this controversy and the way how they're marketing just her and Angel Reese is a good selling plot to get the viewership.
You almost had it perfect. It's the only damn selling point. That's why they keep pumping up that fight between the two of them, because ain't nobody else, ain't nobody running to see no Dallas Wings women's basketball.
Yeah.
The millions is coming from the fight.
Yeah,
Oh,
they've been fighting.
are these girls gonna fight tonight? Or is somebody gonna get kicked out the game? Is she gonna trip her? Is sensationalism. They ain't checking them for no great skills and hook shots and dunk shots. They ain't checking for that. They checking for the fashion. What she wear to the game? What's her hair like? What's her nails like? It ain't real. It's the Wizard of Oz. The stuff ain't real, man. They ain't checking for
You,
basketball.
you know that the Europeans already have a very strong women's league. It
Right,
used to be before WNBA. After you get out of college, you go play basketball
right,
overseas because for
right.
some reason Europeans watch that. So and WNBA can go international easily, but I don't think the USA is going to ever be huge into women's basketball. But we can be happy for the success they have so far. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
you
now, you can watch over the summertime because
talk
ain't no more
closer.
basketball on.
Talk closer, Paco. You away from the mic a little bit, so you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I fade away?
Yeah, you fade away a little bit. Let me see if you sound better. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah. Matter of fact, Paco, most women, if they really want to play professional basketball, it makes more sense going overseas because at least they'll get paid a little bit more than here in America. For right now, you know. Or
Yeah.
he'll come back.
And they do not put them on TV overseas.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, it's and the reason the reason they getting viewership, I mean fanship overseas,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a lot of fans overseas for overseas women.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something to sell. They're riding the coattails of the men's game. That's
Yeah.
all it is. It's a residual thing, not a creative thing. They ain't got no signature hook shot. They ain't got no Jordan dunks.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have what's his name? Daryl Dawkins dunks.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have no all-star dunk contest. Oh, who gonna win the dunk? The NBA's lost out on all that stuff.
Yeah, because these dudes want to be more want. It's like this. They're more. How can I say with these players, these new type of players, they're more into themselves
Let me
instead of
let me
keeping
give
the
you the
integrity of
key.
the league.
I'm gonna tell you what God told me a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
These are not athletes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They are investment bankers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not athletes. They're investment bankers.
Mm-hmm.
Why? If how can I prove my point? Look at their salaries.
Mm.
Average NBA salary has to be about $5 million.
Yeah, rookie salary.
Yeah, it's guys in college. I was at the where'd I go? To the Auburn Tennessee basketball game. The football team walked in, and this guy had to be a quarterback. 6'4", beautiful brother, 6'4", 6'5", had a $50,000 gold pendant chain around his neck.
Oh wow.
And this dude is 20 years old. And you know he got a Range Rover outside to match it.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? That kind of money takes you into a different category. See, when I was coming up and playing, I've played against Michael Jordan. When we were the difference between today and back then, we wanted to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of using a knife or a gun, we used a basketball or a football to try to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to stuff that ball down your throat or stuff it up your butt or both.
Mm-hmm.
Today, with these babysat, spoiled, super spoiled, coddled, that doesn't exist anymore. That's why the NBA and NFL is so damn freaking weak. It's weaker than piss water. You barely touch these guys now. Oh, foul! You too aggressive. Oh no, no, stop! And they calling for their mama, crying for their damn mama.
Probably beg for the mother.
Right. Back then, a guy accidentally came up with his elbow and caught me under my eyebrow, and I had to go to the hospital and get stitches. He saw me a few days later. He said, oh, "Hey man, I'm the one that did that to you. We not you don't want to fight me or nothing. We ain't getting." I was like, "No, but hell no. That was man. That's part of the game. That part of the game, bro."
Mm-hmm.
Gave him a dap and hugged him. No, that's part of the game. You supposed to do that. You didn't do that on purpose. But nowadays, kids in college make what NBA and NFL players made in the 90s.
Wow.
They're too rich. They're too spoiled. It's not sports. It's entertainment. It's movies. It's acting. It's a video game. It's ruined. That's why Oklahoma City could lay down the game before this. Oh, we'll wait till we get back home. Go ahead and let them beat us by 30. So what?
Yeah, I mean, and it's pretty much rigged at that point when you just say, I just want to finish off in 6 and keep pushing,
Right. There's no.
They don't got no killer instinct. And
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was.
And my thing is this: it was the same thing I was going with the Indian Pacers. You could have closed out in 6, but for whatever reason you did not play the way and you let it stretch to 6 games. Matter you should have closed in 5, but you let it stretch to 6.
Who could have closed it?
Against Knicks during the East Conference Finals.
No. The problem. I told you the Knicks problem. They got that big soft punk sissy, 7 foot sissy.
It's funny you mentioned about Carlton Towns. I remember I was watching a video before I was doing this of Jimmy Butler. And I know you have something to say about that dude. But one time he said when he was playing with the Timberwolves, right?
Yeah.
He was mad at these 2 young dudes. But remember, Carlton was just drafted in 2015 and he was up for extension in 2017, 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was mad at these guys got the extension before me. And when he went to practice, when he played against Carl, he was checking him. He was taking the ball from him. That means the thing that come to mind, it seemed to me you're not playing in the paint. You're playing in the 3-point line. If Jimmy was stealing ball from more than once.
Ain't that exactly what I told you?
But it lets you know because the Knicks are still searching for a coach. And my problem with the Knicks is you fired Timo. That's a good move. He should have been gone earlier, but that's not a question. But you're trying to fish another coach from another franchise. I'm saying that's not going to happen.
No, let me give you the game on that.
All right, give me the game on that because I don't know.
Charles Barkley said it best. In any professional league, anywhere, anytime, you only got 2 or 3 good teams.
Mm-hmm.
NBA got 30 teams, NFL 32 teams. You only got 2 or 3 good teams, which means the rest of them are what? Garbage and trash and guessing. They guessing at what they should do. They don't know what the hell they doing. The Knicks is one of them. They don't know. That's why I keep telling you, this is business first, entertainment second. This ain't real sports. These people don't have a clue of what they doing. They just what they are experts in is cashing some damn checks. That's what they expert in. And now everything's so easy. You ain't got to cash no check no more. Everything's direct deposit. It just pop up on your phone. Bing, bing. Stuff is the black man has made stuff too easy with his hard work. Made too much money. It's too easy. Now the spoiled rich kids are running everything from what the black man has made. Sports into a $1 zillion industry. See with Angel and Caitlin, what are they trying to do? They trying to replay who? Magic and Bird.
Yes. Yeah.
That ain't finna work. That's not
gonna
happen.
You know what remind me more, because Angel Reese plays for the Chicago Sky and Caitlin plays in Indiana something, right? It remind me of Jordan versus Bird. And Angel's not no Jordan, let's be honest. She's nowhere close to that. But that's the vibe they're trying to put out.
Exactly. Yeah. They're trying to build something that's not there. They're trying to create a rivalry that's not there.
And it's not even a good rivalry, because Angel Reese
doesn't exist.
She's not a good player.
Oh, she's a good player, but in
what area is she good at? I want to know. Can you please explain this to me?
You know what a national champion is?
Yeah, but we're talking about the WNBA. I'm not talking about college. We're away from college.
I think I know the difference. When you win a national championship, you don't win it by being a bad or average player. You have to do something. They don't just hand those out at the Walmart.
Well, I'm gonna say this in defense for these women's in the basketball league, the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, if she didn't win one in college, she definitely gonna win one in WNBA, and she can win multiple. Mark my word. The way how she's playing and how this team playing, she don't have to worry about college level.
It don't matter, because the appetite of the American fan has been saturated with 250-pound, 320-pound athletes. There's no place for rivalries between vaginas. It's like a fight at a club. Now, if the two big heavyweight dudes is fighting, everybody want to see that. But if two females are fighting, oh man, hurry up and break that bullshit up, man. Y'all wasting time. Yeah, before they we don't need a bunch of weave all over the ground. Break that up. Don't nobody want to see that. Okay. After seeing Jordan flying through the air with the dunk, after seeing Kobe flying through the air with the dunk, and the jumper, the mid-range jumper.
Yeah.
What the hell? What are they gonna do? Don't nobody want to see that.
Yeah. All right. I mean,
it's not gonna stimulate the American sports appetite. We used to a bucket of blood.
Well, at the end of the day, with the WNBA, I mean, they got to do what they need just to make this league profitable, because they've been taking too much L's since the franchise even was established 28 years ago. If you're just now starting to see money since last year, going on to now this year, it tells you have a long way to go to make this league anything of competitiveness. and
Exactly.
anything of seriousness for anybody to watch, including women, because then you're going to get, you need women to support this, and women right now are not eager to see other grown women play basketball because it's boring to them. You get me?
That's my
Now,
point.
mind you, if women are talking about it now, that tells you one of the few things that is predictable with the modern woman. You like drama and you love you love fighting. You love drama and fighting, and that's what WNBA is presented to you. You're gonna see
Drama and fighting from guys.
Mm.
Ain't no female fighters can line up, and you could have a female world championship fight. Ain't nobody coming to see that. But when when the guys have a championship fight, I sell the tickets, and it's some ringside seats that go for 10 to 15,000
Mm-hmm.
to get in the door. 800 to 1,000 to get you a nosebleed seat. The American diet and appetite for sports. Who's in there? You got, name a few of the names. You got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 7'2", 260 pounds. You got Wilt Chamberlain, 7'2", 300 pounds. You
Mm-hmm.
ever heard of Shaquille O'Neal,
7'1",
7'2",
7'1".
7'1",
Yeah,
320 damn pounds.
yeah, and he was a beast. He was a problem. Really, he was a serious problem in the end of the 90s, going 2000s.
He
When it
was
was 2000,
unreal. He was a real life King Kong.
yeah, man.
Last
They said they had to
last
change the rules how you play against him, man. One time he told the commissioner back in 2000, after 2000 season, one of them is, he's listen, I'm tired of these dudes holding me. Anytime I'm in the paint, I'm going to pulverize them. You
right,
get me? And he said, if you do that, a lot of players will foul out.
right.
And he was right, because if
Yeah,
you play the way you did, and you said I'm going to step up and play even more aggressive, they can't afford that.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I mean, he's down the paint. One thing he's gonna kill you with the hook, or he's gonna dunk it with authority in yourself.
no, he ain't. He gonna kill you with all that, because
Yeah,
those are moves and counter moves.
yeah,
He's doing one to set up the other,
yeah.
and doing the other to set up the one, and get you off balance.
Wait.
We go ahead.
I gotta do this. I wish
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna create a soundbite for people to say, "Thank you, DM Shots 247 for the sub. I appreciate my brother. Just sit back, and I mean, I talk about a lot of things, brother. So there's more to come. So thank you for your sub. I appreciate it. And if you feel so inclined, you can throw a little some in the donation tab, support channel. But thank you for your sub. I appreciate it, brother. I really appreciate it. Go on.
And then who was going against him? We had Elijah Wan going against him. 7 foot. I was with him
Yeah,
last
yeah,
time I was
so,
with Shaq. I shook his hand and gave him a hug. I'm 6 foot tall. The top of my head came to his belly button.
yeah. I'm around your same height, so yeah, I know the feeling. When you deal with a
Yeah.
person that's over a foot tall, I think 10 more inches. Yeah, that's a foot tall.
12.
12? Okay.
13 more inches. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Oh yeah, 13. Okay, someone. All right. Yep, you're right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he going against Elijah Wan. It's a reason. It's a reason. It's a very good reason. Just when you look at the NBA game,
Mm-hmm.
look at the camera shot on the floor. Everybody down there, you can't get down there unless you a millionaire. You can't get one of them seats unless you a millionaire. Ain't no girls game finna do that.
Oh, I like this comment this bro wrote. Shaq didn't have the footwork to keep up with the dream. Yeah, because one thing with Elijah, while he was his days in college, but come here, he was still trying to understand how to play basketball when he was in college. He learned from a profession that to understand footwork. That's what makes him such an efficient, deadly.
No. Let me tell you where he gets his footwork from.
All right, tell me. All right, tell me.
Where's Elijah Wan from?
He's from Nigeria. I think he's originally from Nigeria.
What's the national sport?
Soccer.
Bingo, we got a winner.
Okay.
In soccer, you can only use your what?
Feet.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We're done.
Yeah.
That's where his footwork comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And he was quicker and more nimble than Shaq. Shaq will tell you he was lazy as hell and didn't work out, got fat, wouldn't work out in the off season. If he'd have
Yeah,
worked out in
I
the
was,
off season,
I was
nobody would have had a chance.
yeah, I was very disappointed on Shaq because he depended on his raw athleticism and strength, but it started to dwindle once the 2000s came around. You get me?
He didn't work on it.
Yeah.
See, your body, our body is a self-destruct mechanism. If you don't enhance it and improve it, it's gonna turn on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna get sickness and disease and lose your health.
Mm-hmm.
Your grandma said it best. If you don't use it, what?
You'll
You
lose it.
lose it.
Yeah. All right. Guys, make sure to hit the like button. And you know, I think one athlete was criticizing Shaq. I think it was Shannon Sharp. We're not going to detail about him, but he said that he's right to criticize him to a degree. But you know, Shaq was more accomplished.
Depend upon what he said. I know Shannon.
I can't remember what he said, but he said something about his ethics.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing we saying.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. Shaq, because he's been raised by a military stepfather, he knows that if he did the more, he'd be more effective player, and his career would not. He would not took so much injury much. He was still injured, but not much. If he prioritized certain things. And mind you, if he improved on certain areas, he would have over 30,000 points more. The way how he plays as a 7-footer.
Oh, he'd have had 10, 15 championships.
I don't know about that, but I think you had more. I think you had more than 4. I think most you have maybe 8.
4? I think he had. Didn't he have 5?
No, he had 4. The last championship he won was 19 years ago.
Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. No, his father was Sergeant Harrison, and he grew up Cole High School, San Antonio. In order to be truly great in athletics, you have to come from an athletic father, not a military father. That's where the greatness comes from. When you were second, Steph Curry's father was who? Dale Curry, who used to come off screens and knock down jump shots for the Hornets.
Yes. Yeah.
So people don't realize Steph Curry started training with Michael Jordan when he's 3 and 4 years old, because daddy's getting ready to play against him, and Steph will run out there on the court with Michael Jordan. How many of us get to do that?
Not many.
Not too many. Yeah.
You know,
That's like working with Bill Gates on computers when you're 3 or 4 years old, or sitting down working with Sam Walmart on building stores when you're 3 or 4 years old. That doesn't happen too terribly often.
Yeah.
But that's what really makes the great. It's when the father did it. But what really makes him great, it makes you good when the father does it. It makes you great when the father did not get rich at it and you still have hunger. That's why Bronny can't never do nothing, because he's always had a silver spoon in his mouth.
Yeah.
Sports is a hungry man's game, and he will never ever he don't know, he can't even spell hunger. He wake up, he always had 10,000 square foot house, could eat steak and lobster or whatever he wanted for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, could jump in a Ferrari or a Rolls Royce or a Range Rover whenever he felt like it, or a limousine if he didn't feel like driving. That you ain't gonna never be nothing coming from that kind of background. Sports athletes have to come from a killer background. They're ghetto, where we kill each other every day, fight each other every day, mad at each other.
Yeah. And this guy writes, Step had the shooter's gene from Pops, plus the opportunity to hone his skills on very courts where the shots matter from a baby. Yeah, I mean, see, one thing, if the father was subpar, the
Ooh,
son would be
whoa,
the.
whoa, whoa. Say it
Uh-huh.
again.
No, if the father was, they're saying that LeVar Ball said best. If you have a great NBA player, on the average, if your son decides to follow your footsteps, he's not gonna be not great, but subpar
Right,
from a great
right,
father. But
right.
if the father was, and I'm not saying Del Curry is a bad player, he's pretty decent the time he played NBA. But when his son came around, his son overseed expectation because his father played, he was okay, and the son was gonna play even better.
But see, Dale was just a role player. He wasn't a superstar. So
Exactly.
the hunger was there for Steph.
Yeah.
When you take the hunger away, you destroy the athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch. All you got to do is watch Rocky 3, Eye of the Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
It that's the best explanation in the world. You have to
Yeah.
have that eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to die in your training for a championship.
Mm-hmm.
You got to kill yourself to heal yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Bible says it. God says it in the Bible. He who seeks to save his life shall lose it. But
Mm-hmm.
he who seeks to lose his life shall what? Save it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this comment. Yeah. Hunger to be great. Yeah, you had to be hungered for it, you know what I'm saying? And the funny thing I heard from some people, they said that the Lakers, because they now have new ownership, and I read it earlier, I don't know if you caught it, that I heard they don't say, I don't know where these guys get their information from. They're saying that LeBron James was cut since now they got new ownership. And I said, I looked it up close and I said, I don't see no information that backs up that claim.
That's the biggest lie ever told.
It is a big site. And I'm not sure where people get their information from because he signed a 4-year contract. How the hell did this going to cut him after a season because now Genie Bus is no longer running the show? That
Biggest
makes no
lie
sense.
ever told.
Yeah.
How do you cut a Hall of Famer? How do you cut the number one scorer of all time? You just cut Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What did the Lakers cut Kareem? Did the did the
No.
did the Celtics cut Bird?
Nope.
Did the
And but
six
they say that Brian James was cut. And I said, how so? How that makes
biggest lie ever told?
biggest lie? But it goes so that whoever's putting that gossip, that rumor, that stop it.
Well, it's all about
You know why they would say something like that,
yeah,
Elijah?
it's all about clicks and views nowadays.
That and they don't like LeBron James. And
Right.
I want your opinion on this. Since I'm going to mention LeBron, LeBron made some statements about ring shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the clip of it. I didn't watch the full broadcast with the conversation between him and Steve Nash. Right? A lot of analysts gave a lot of pushback to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is your views on LeBron's statement about ring hopping?
What'd he say?
Let me see if I can remember. Let me see if I can find the video. You talk as I find it because I can't. I don't know if I can. Can I get away to play it? I might play it. Let me find it. Just talk for a second.
Okay. No, look. There's no. People like to say, "Oh, who's greater, Jordan or LeBron?" That's not even a question.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even a question. That's nowhere near a question. Jordan is the number one player of all time. 6 rings, 6 tries. LeBron has 4 rings
Mm-hmm.
in like 10 or 11 tries.
All right, let me see if I can find where I'm trying to find a video of the analyst
Go
talking
ahead.
about this. No, keep talking. I gotta find the one with. I'm not gonna play it because I'm not sure it's run by ESPN. I don't want to risk it because
Yeah.
they're very strict. I don't know why that
Yeah,
is.
you don't need a strike.
Yeah, I'm not
Read it. But
I'm gonna try to see if I can listen to another device and then tell you, but I gotta find it first. So keep talking. As I'm trying to find
LeBron has
where the hell is it?
he's won 40% of the championships that he's played in. When you got a 40% in school, what letter grade is that?
That's a failure grade.
That's a F.
Yeah, but the F now has changed differently now. They don't marked as F in the school system now. Is this the one?
Right. But
I think this might be the one. I'm gonna mute myself to see. I might play his talk, but keep talking.
yeah, back when school actually tried to teach somebody something, 40% meant a F. So that's the same. That has to be applied to LeBron. You take you and people that don't know the game will say, "Oh, well, his team." What? No, it doesn't matter what your team is. You make your team better. Great players. I think it was Kelvin Sampson said it. Yeah, Kelvin Sampson. Good players make themselves look great. Great players make other players look great. So if LeBron would have been a great player, as great as he could have been, he would have you still cash in on those championships. In 1980.
Okay, I'm gonna play it now. Let's see if
Uh-uh.
you can hear it. If you can't hear it, let me know. And I'm only gonna play what he said. And that's it. And I'm not sure if there gonna be no problems. I doubt there's gonna be problems. But here we go. Let's go. Peace. Can you hear that?
Don't hear nothing.
Hold on, let me make sure. I'm gonna turn my volume. Make sure. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, it's playing. So this what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play it on another device. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hmm.
So you keep talking as I find it. I'm gonna play it on this device here.
Okay.
All right.
But people always make the argument, oh, his team wasn't as good. No, that doesn't count either. If you look up the Lakers of 1980. Uh, they were playing the Sixers in the championship, and Kareem got an injury and had to sit out. Jamal Wilkes got an injury and had to sit out. That's taken away 40 points from the Lakers, and they were on the road in Philly. Magic Johnson said, "Okay, Kareem can't play. I'm gonna play center." Magic went and played.
Okay. So I'm gonna play it here. Listen carefully because I'm gonna use my device,
Hmm.
and it's the best going because I'm gonna put it near the mic. Let's see if you guys can hear it. Here we go. Let me make sure I'm turning volume all the way up. There we go. So listen carefully on LeBron's views about ring hopping and all that stuff. Here we go.
A ring is a team accomplishment. I don't know where it started. It's just it's a long conversation, especially when it comes to you know, me individually. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport. You tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, our wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys because this guy won one ring or won two rings or won it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has one ring. Stuff like that. We're not sick.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
And that's the best I could play, guys, because remember, I'm on my device. So now do you hear his views? And it's only a clip. There could probably be more in the conversation about his views about ring. Was it ring hopping? Yeah. What's your views now that you heard that?
Yeah, it's true. That's true. What he said was true, but he kind of slipped on his own words because he said Peyton can't sit at the table, but Peyton has one.
Yes,
And
one. Yes, he has one now.
yeah, when you have at least one, you can sit at the table.
Correct.
You can't sit at the head of the table.
Mm-hmm.
There's levels to this thing. There's everything in life. There's levels and layers. It's just like your skin. It's just like my skin. It's just like everybody else's skin. You have layers of skin. You have the epidermis and the other dermis. There's like 3 or 4 other dermises, layers of your skin. It's the same thing in life and the same thing in sports. Sports is a reflection, and you can't go in the same Hall of Fame room with multiple winners, but you can sit at the table. Barkley can't sit at that table. Barkley's probably the greatest player to never win a ring, but
Yeah.
he can't join the uh, he can't join the championship fraternity.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
But he was Superman. He's a buddy of mine. He was definitely Superman. He's the best player to never have a ring.
Mm.
But he can't come into that club. It's just like trying to go to the nightclub and you 19. You cannot get in unless you have what kind of ID?
Driver's license.
Hell no. You got to have a fake ID.
Okay.
Because you got to be 21. If the age requirement of the club is 21 and you 19, you can't get in.
Mm. Okay.
Same way with championships, but yeah, Peyton can sit at the Super Bowl winners table because he's won one. But there's levels and layers to it. Now, if you can put an asterisk by Barkley's name, why? Because he played in the Jordan era. And while Jordan's team was being built up and promoted and advertised, then yeah, that took away that knocked Barkley out of a championship. In fact, Jordan and Barkley met in the finals. And
yeah, and that the final year before Jordan took a nice little break in 1993 when he went
93,
and it was Barkley's only final appearance, which I think they only won one game.
No. They won 2.
The Suns won 2 games.
Yes.
You sure? I'm gonna double check.
Let
me double check that.
My teammate was on the Suns, Richard Dumas, and he got kicked out of the league for cocaine abuse.
Oh damn!
He and I grew up together. Yeah, I know this stuff backwards and forwards. I sent 4 guys to the NBA Finals 4 years in a row.
Okay. I know. I think the Phoenix Suns were that good that they were able to compete against the Bulls in the finals. I thought usually they would probably sneak one. And, you know.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, they were that good. Barkley is that good. But they had nobody. They had nobody that could stop Jordan and Pippen. Let's see, was Sean Marion there yet?
No, Sean Marion came into the 2000s.
Right.
So
yeah, Tricks. We call
they
him.
They had Kenny. What they call? They had Kenny somebody.
No, they had the point guard that was the mayor. Little bitty point guard.
Yeah, he had ups though.
Huh?
Yeah, ups.
Yeah. Kevin something.
Kevin Smith?
No, Kevin. Yeah, but
Johnson. I think
Kevin Johnson. Yeah, but they didn't have them. And Michael Finley was on that team, but he was like a rookie or something. I
thought he played Dallas as rookie as a player. I didn't know
hell no.
Okay.
And it's just like tonight with Shea and Williams. If you don't have anybody that can stop the bleeding and stop those 2-6-7s from getting in your paint,
Yeah.
You can forget about it.
165, 166. Yeah. And I don't like about the NBA because I know I play basketball games for me, and I notice every year they change the height on these players. And I'm saying, please be consistent. These players don't get taller every year, and that's what throws you off because now you don't know which one. I just one day it said they were 6'6", next day here they're like 6'7", 6'8", next they go back to 6'4". Goddamn, make up your mind. How tall? Listen, bro. At this point, I you know what I do when the NBA when I play the video games, I change it and say this is where they originally came in the league. I'm gonna keep it as this. I'm gonna change the height. You're not gonna make them taller. You're not gonna make them short. Stop it. Stop it. Because you throw it off every time we mess with the height.
Yeah, it depends on who you're talking to.
Like now they said that Wemby now is not no longer 6'3". He's now 7'7" here. Rumor.
He might have grown.
I'm saying, wait, you tell me this dude now got an additional 3 more inches? Are you out your mind?
No, he might have grown.
Bro, he's already problematic because he plays like a guard. And trust me, he's not playing that.
No, he's got that Kevin Durant disease. You're too damn skinny. You can't. And you have to be able to. It's a tough man contest. You have to be able to bang guys and get physical with guys. If you can't do that, it's a waste. You're wasting your time. You're not gonna get no championship.
I'll tell you one person that does that still, but the problem is he's too soft and he's too coddled. Joel Embiid.
Right.
He'll bang with you. See, he can shoot
he don't bang. He do not bang. Nope.
Post like that in paint.
Nope.
I thought he did. Okay.
Nope. No, when you bang, your body gets harder, and it's like a fighter.
Yeah.
Your body gets harder and tougher.
Yep.
And that's why he's always hurt, because he's pussy soft.
Mm-hmm.
He's big as hell, but he's pussy soft. He's an African Carl Anthony Towns. He wants to be Steph Curry so bad.
God damn, bro. I'm done with you.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah. Well, damn it. I don't know. I think I have nothing else to say on this. My thing now, moving forward. I'm gonna soon wind this now. Moving forward now. Well, let me say this, because I talk about the Knicks, and you said the one thing they do is get rid of that tall dude. I don't know if they're going to, but right now they got to decide what they're going to do move forward, because one, they need a coach, number one, and number two, they're going to look into the offseason. They're going to make moves. A lot of players might be gone from that roster. We don't know who's going to be gone. I heard they said that one particular player, Bridget, wants a bigger contract extension. I'm not sure if Knicks going to give him that, because they already full with people that's in the lineup, and they got to remove some space, and to pay him additional 200 and some million for the next couple of years. I just don't see that happening. So he probably the most likely going to be moved before anybody else.
They could waste the money or not waste the money. The Cowboys wasted money on Dak.
Yeah. And right now, Knicks right now are very conservative right now with the money right now. They're already at the luxury tax now.
They don't care.
So
they make so much money. I told you, these aren't athletes. These are investment bankers. Mm-hmm. Once you understand that, you'll see the whole picture.
Okay.
And these teams, remember what Barkley said, there's only 2 or 3 good teams. There's only 2 or 3 teams that know what the hell they're doing in any and every league.
And what are those teams, for the viewers that don't know? What are those teams?
For football?
Basketball.
Let's see. That would be the Thunder. The champion always tells you who's thinking the best, 99% of the times.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Thunder. Why? Because they have the 2 best guards, and they have
a world playing team that do their job. They got a
ton of draft picks.
They got what's the name?
First round draft picks.
Yeah.
In the future. Mm-hmm. And you got the Thunder, and you got, let's see. Oh, the Celtics.
Okay, we could probably talk about them. Yeah.
And Indiana didn't even belong in the finals. But
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people really didn't was expecting Indiana to make it all the way. From what I'm hearing.
happened? What had the injuries got them to the finals.
Yeah.
The Cavaliers starting two guard
Yeah.
got hurt and had to sit out.
No, they said one guard got hurt and the big man got hurt.
Right. Right.
But you know, my thing with the Cavaliers, I wasn't surprised, and I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna probably find a bigger guard that can shoot. I think they're gonna just increase the size because you can't have the lineup that's that small. I mean, if you look at the New York Knicks, they got the only small guard is Jalen Brunson, but on the Cavaliers they got like one or two guards. They got one that's 6'1", the other one's 6'3".
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
but he gets it done regardless, no matter who's in front of him.
Of course.
But see, the Cavaliers, they had it going on, but you can't. One thing you cannot defeat is an injury. You can't beat an injury.
Yeah.
And then Boston, the big 6'9" guard, what's his name? There's
you mean Jason Tatum?
Yeah.
No, he got 6'8". Yeah, he tore it, but they said with him, he's been playing every game since he won the league. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna mention that thing you talk about, that injection.
Right.
I'm not gonna talk about that. I think with him, the word on the street that was circling on internet that the guy was juicing last year, and they said that's the only way they probably won because he's taken some enhancements, and that came out months ago of last year. And that got swept in the rub because they didn't want that out because they said that was true. That's going to destroy the integrity of the Boston Celtics as a franchise.
Right. Yes.
But I'm thinking, what else could be besides that injection? Because you tore it during the game. You not do much. You just try to apply some pressure on your body and just gave out.
Right.
So you're on something. You get me?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you something. And you, as young as these players are, if you're in your 30s and you tore some, that's different. But when you're in your late 20s and you tore some, you're on something, bro.
Well,
I mean, in general, because let me tell you something. If I did some study and research of the players that tore serious ligaments besides knees, I will doubt I find anybody that's in their 20s. Very rare they tore something like that.
Unless it happens
early on and before they became a NBA player.
It happens all the time. Let me tell you. That's why. Let me tell you why. That's why I do. That's why I do what I do as a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these athletes are super weak. It means you have a weakness and a weak body. Same thing with KD.
Yeah.
I've seen him in hospital beds with his leg in cast, man. Because you have to get you have to, yes. LeBron doesn't miss a game. Why? Because he's 270.
He's a different beast. See, he spends $2 million on his body. He gives himself in a physical strength and fitness.
You making my point for me. He beefs his body up to 270 pounds of muscle.
That's why a lot of people
you have to beef up
to the paint. That's why they're afraid. They're afraid when LeBron gets to the paint, it's a problem. Because he gets with that muscle and that body, it's like he'll push you off. That's why everybody know when one thing out of his strength, because he's now become a better jump shooter, but throughout his career, the one thing people don't understand, what makes LeBron very deadly is when he's able to attack the paint with Rossi.
Well, he's at 276.9, he's a freight
alignment. Right. Just running right over you. You know what I'm saying?
And nobody's gonna take a charge. Nobody's gonna get in his way. And the way that San Antonio would always beat him is they do what they call build a wall. They would put 3 guys in front of him. See, if you put one guy in front of him, one guy might be 220 pounds. LeBron's 270. LeBron's gonna win that battle. But if you put 3 200-pound guys together, how much is that?
600 pounds. 600 pounds.
He ain't running through that. They call it build a wall.
Yeah.
And that's what makes these young guys get injuries at, just like Halliburton. You get that injury at at the last time you can afford to have it. You in the
And
middle
that
of the
is the
finals.
worst time to have
Worst
it.
time.
Because now this is the last game of the whole NBA season.
Yep.
You tear it now, that means you're not gonna be active until 2028 at best. Not 2027. Black people still come back the next one. No, he's gone for the whole year and a couple more months. Because now it's gonna take you 6 to 7 months or even another year at best to be back at basketball form.
Now he's got to have surgery. If he'd have just sat out when he first got it, he wouldn't have never had to have surgery. And that surgery is extremely delicate.
I don't want to go into that because a lot of people said there are players now that can recover from that injury now. But back then, if you tore it, your career is a wrap.
Yeah, you were done.
But because technology is so advanced, players, KD is one of the good examples that recovered from Achilles tendon tear.
Yeah.
And he was just in his 30s. So a lot of players like Tatum and Halliburton, you guys are all right, including Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
He's at 30, 34, going to be 35 next year. It's going to take until the whole next year season, same thing as tape, before he comes back.
Well, nowadays they got the computer doing the surgery.
Oh wow, that's how
not
bad
even
it was.
Not even a
man can't even do that. They're having computers doing that. That's talent. That's not no simple surgery to recover from. If they let the computer be very delicate with your ankle.
Right. Well, a computer can get on a micro level that the human hand can't.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. With and get down through there with that laser.
Yeah. And with those and bind the ligaments and sewing something.
And make a straight line and a perfect circle that the human hand can't do.
Yeah.
The computer's not gonna sneeze. The computer's not gonna cough.
You're right. Okay. Yeah, it's like 3D printing. If you think about
it. Yeah. And the computer is not gonna need to piss.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about technology. But like I said, I'm a Knicks fan, so I give high hopes going on to this upcoming season. But you never know. Eastern Conference, like right now, as it stands, because this very much wide open now. Now, I can't tell you what other teams are going to compete besides Knicks. I can't say that right now, but I'll tell you one thing. And this is for people that's Knicks fans like me. This is your last opportunity. You don't get through this. The window's going to be pretty much closed. Moving on the next following 2 seasons. You get me? Because you're locked in with these players. You know,
right.
And I'm not saying that Bridget and Carl was a bad trade pickup, but like the analysts said it best, like the Orlando Magics. Like the Memphis Grizzlies. You're giving away your top potential 4 first-round picks to get 1 player. This is not a good decision, but from what I'm hearing from people that's experts, but you're the expert, and I'm going to tell you because you reason more than anything else. Do you think it's a smart move for a lot of these NBA teams to start this offshoring potential first-round picks?
Start doing what?
Does it make sense for a lot of teams that have draft picks that are first rounds for the next couple of years to hoard them to one team from one piece of a player?
To hoard them?
Yeah. Like, how can I say this?
No. I'm gonna give you the whole key to success in any sport. 1, you have to have good ownership. The Cowboys are struggling with that.
Oh yeah, Jerry, whoever his name is.
Yeah,
Jerry West.
And 2, it has to trickle down to where the general manager and the coach, 1, know what the hell they're doing, know how to win, and 2, in agreement and on the same page and on the same sheet of music.
Okay.
Less than 1% of teams had what I just said.
Okay.
Now, after you get that, the whole key to success in sports is player development. You can have you can be like the Pittsburgh Steelers. my favorite team coming up, and I was gonna play for them in '95, and they told me no, don't come.
Mhm.
You can have the greatest talent. You can have all the all stars in the NFL on one team, but if you're not developing those players, if you're not putting those players in the right position, in the right circumstance, and in the right, you don't know how to play situational football,
Mhm.
you're going to be a loser. Just like Mike, I call him Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Steelers.
Mhm.
They let the big running back from Tennessee that went to Baltimore get
Mhm.
300 rushing yards on him in the playoffs. When the Steelers had the greatest team in football history, they had a steel curtain, and running backs couldn't get 50 yards a game on that defense. And the success in football is running on offense and stopping the run on defense. Their own
Okay.
head, their own head coach doesn't even know that. Why? Because before he was head coach, he was a damn receivers coach. That's why Deion Sanders is uh, is a shitbag as a coach. He doesn't he knows the speed positions. Football is not just speed. You gotta your bigs up front have to kick ass first, and then that's when speed kicks in. But Dion doesn't know that because he's not a strength and power guy. You have to have a guy that knows strength and power and front seven. Dion has no clue about that because he was never that. He 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 would run from tackling people. Yeah, he could chase the hell out of a football. He could chase a receiver. But when it came to hitting is the meat and potatoes and glue of football. He never did that. So Colorado's always terrible as a result. And so when you have unison and agreement between GM and head coach, then you go into player development. Because why? They have a vision of where they need to go and what they need to do. God said in the Bible, where there's no vision, the people perish. So if that coach doesn't have a vision, you can forget about it. If the coach doesn't know about what I just told you, forget about it. Thunder was successful. Why? Because you got a Jordan and a Pippen. You got a Michael Jordan and a Scottie Pippen on that team. And if you know basketball history, you know what I mean. Those are two guys that won 6 rings. And they went out and they duplicated that and replicated that.
Mhm.
Now you got 2 6'7" coming downhill, getting in your paint, shooting jumpers over your guards.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why they holding the trophy 2 hours ago.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of teams are gonna. They already look at the analytics of a lot of teams how they play now and how they look at the guard play. That to compete in a certain level now, you're going to find someone that could probably play a combo guard or play point.
Analytics has helped ruin sports because analytics comes from, they need to rename it nerdalytics.
Okay.
Analytics just comes from the nerds that never played the damn sport. And
Mm.
they got a bunch
They're
of
running
theories.
numbers. They're running numbers and
Right. They got a bunch of theories. A
okay.
theory is an unproven idea.
Okay.
You got to go get guys that actually did it and were masters at what they did and know the whole ball of wax.
Mm-hmm.
And what I tell you before, what do I always tell you? Sports ain't sports anymore. It's business and entertainment. And since big money has come in, since black athletes have made big money for nerdy white guys, the nerdy white guys have went and got their buddies and given them jobs instead of the guys who know the real meat and potatoes and know how things actually work.
Okay.
You got to know the coaches before big money hit. All the owners would go to the ghetto and get the ghetto coaches that knew ghetto ball, football, and basketball, because that's where the real game is. Because we play it all day, every day.
Okay. All right, well said. All right, thank you, Elijah, for coming up. I truly appreciate this.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your input.
Yes, sir.
This is very informative. Like I said, since we walk into the off season, I'll think of any other topics to talk about sports. But like I said, your insight really matters. I do appreciate it. We will do this again soon, Elijah. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate it.
Praise God. God bless you and your family.
Yes, and take care. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You too, boss.
All right, guys, that's it for today's stream. I do appreciate y'all guys coming and watching this. Like I said, for those that missed it, please catch the replay of this. A lot was said, a lot of things were covered, and I'll be looking forward to reading the comments on this one. The links to follow me are in the description below. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosReign7 or at ChaosReign7. Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Rumble, CRain23 at Rumble. That's my handle on Rumble. Join my Discord service as well. That's in the description on this title and many descriptions. And last but not least, become a member of the Chaos Reign Show as well. As you know, you can hit the join button in this chat room or in the description of this channel. So please become a member. Membership has perks. And that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for watching. Until next time, and I mean next time, the Chaos Reign.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you hoes.
They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
Must reign.